The mahogany dining table felt solid beneath Alara's hands, a familiar anchor in a world of gentle comforts. Her fork scraped softly against the fine porcelain, a rhythmic sound that matched the peaceful heartbeat of the house. Her mother leaned over, placing a steaming bowl of homemade stew in front of her with a smile that reached her eyes. The air was thick with the comforting scent of pine needles and freshly baked bread. For years, this warmth was all she ever needed. It was a sanctuary of simple joys, where every shadow was friendly and every meal was a gift. Then, the blue light of her phone shattered the golden hue of the room. With a single swipe, Alara was transported. She saw Clara standing on a sun-drenched yacht in the Mediterranean, the water a perfect, mocking turquoise. Another swipe revealed Mark, leaning casually against a sleek sports car that glowed with the scent of new leather and impossible wealth. Suddenly, Alara looked around her living room and saw things she had never noticed before. The velvet sofa, once the site of cozy movie nights, now appeared worn and dusty. The family photos on the wall, captured in moments of genuine laughter, seemed outdated and small. She pushed her plate away, the stew cooling and untouched as her appetite for her own life vanished. That evening, her father's voice drifted toward her, asking about her day. But Alara only stared at the floor. Her jaw was tight, a physical barrier against a world she now deemed inferior. She didn't answer. She couldn't. She walked to her room and slammed the door, the sound echoing like a final judgment. In the silence, she began a meticulous list of everything she lacked. She spent hours spiraling through luxury brands and travel destinations, her mind wandering through a life she couldn't afford. When her mother knocked, offering a simple cup of tea, Alara remained frozen. She sat in the dark, the only light being the cold glow of her screen. By the next morning, the transformation was complete. As she walked past her father in the hallway, he reached out to pat her shoulder in a gesture of habitual affection. Alara flinched, stepping back as if his touch were a threat. She no longer saw her home as a sanctuary. It had become a cage of mediocrity, a prison of beige walls and average dreams. At school, the poison spread. She avoided her friends, unable to bear their simple conversations. She sat alone in the crowded hallway, comparing her plain backpack to the designer bags that swung past her like symbols of a better species. She stopped laughing at jokes. She stopped participating in class. Her physical life remained exactly the same, yet the vibrant colors had drained away, leaving only a grayscale reality. She stood in the center of her room, surrounded by the same loving family and the same comfortable furniture, but she felt like a pauper in her own palace. She had traded her inner peace for a phantom standard, a ghost of a life lived by strangers. The hollow ache in her chest grew into a deafening silence. She realized that the walls of her house had never moved an inch, yet she was trapped. She had built a fortress of envy, stone by stone, until the windows were blocked and the air was stale. The joy hadn't been stolen by the world or the people on the screen. She had handed it over herself, piece by piece, to the glowing rectangle in her palm. She looked in the mirror at her tired, drawn face. The prison was of her own making, and the key was still in her hand.